very early on is that they were hoping that there would be data behind that camera.
Nancy Guthrie walked out of her life 73 days ago and has not come back. No goodbye, no note, no body, no answer. For 73 days, her family has been living inside a silence so heavy it has its own weight. Her daughter Annie gets up every morning not knowing if her mother is alive. Her son-in-law, Tommaso, drives past the same streets, the same corners, the same nothing. 73 days of waiting for a phone to ring with news that never comes. And the rest of the world? The rest of the world moved on. But tonight something moved in this case, something that changes the shape of this investigation in a way that no patrol car, no search team, no press conference ever could. The FBI is tracking a Bitcoin wallet. A digital financial trail now exists in a case that had gone completely dark. Hey, and the person who created that trail? They made one decision they cannot take back. They left a record. Here is what we know. According to reporting confirmed by federal sources and relayed through investigative outlets covering this case, the FBI has been actively tracing a Bitcoin wallet connected to Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. That is confirmed. Whether that wallet belongs to a named suspect, that is not confirmed. Whether a formal identification has been made and an arrest is waiting, that is not confirmed. Whether this wallet is tied to a ransom demand, an extortion payment, or a transaction made after Nancy disappeared, that is not confirmed. What is confirmed is this: a financial thread now exists. The FBI touched it, and in a case that has produced nothing for 73 days, a thread is not nothing. That is confirmed. Everything else you are about to hear is analysis, and I am going to be very clear about where the line is. Now let me tell you what this does not prove, because this is the part most channels skip. And skipping it is exactly how you mislead people. This development does not prove an arrest is coming tomorrow. It does not prove the wallet belongs to whoever took Nancy. It does not prove Nancy is alive. It does not prove a suspect has been named or charged. It does not prove the transaction inside that wallet is connected to this crime in any prosecutable way. Not one of those things is confirmed. If anyone tells you otherwise tonight, they are ahead of the evidence, and this channel does not go ahead of the evidence. But here is what this does tell us. First, this case just crossed a line that most missing persons cases never cross. It moved from the physical world into the financial one. Think about what that means. Search teams comb the ground. Investigators process evidence. Tips come in and go cold. All of that is built on the physical world. Things that can disappear, degrade, get compromised, get lost. A blockchain transaction cannot be touched. It cannot be altered. Every move made in that wallet is permanent, public, and traceable to anyone with the right tools and the right court order. The FBI has both. That shift in the nature of the evidence is not routine. It is significant. Second, the FBI does not trace cryptocurrency on a hunch. Federal cryptocurrency forensics requires either a court-authorized subpoena to a digital exchange or a voluntary compliance disclosure, and neither of those happens without an evidentiary threshold being crossed first. That means before any agent opened a blockchain explorer and started following this wallet, a judge or a compliance officer somewhere already decided there was enough to justify it. This investigation did not stumble onto a Bitcoin wallet by accident. Someone built a case strong enough to go looking, and they found something worth following. Third, and this is the detail that matters most, if this wallet is connected to a registered exchange account, the kind that requires a government-issued ID to open, then the name attached to that account may already be sitting in a federal file. Cryptocurrency feels anonymous. People believe it cannot be traced back to them. But most people who use it do not use it correctly. They buy it through exchanges that know exactly who they are. They transfer it to wallets that leave patterns. They make mistakes, and those mistakes do not disappear. They compound, If whoever is connected to this wallet made even one identifiable move, investigators may already know far more than they are saying publicly. That is what the confirmed facts tell us when you look at them the right way. That is what we know. But there is a question underneath all of this that nobody has asked yet, and it is the one that actually matters, because the real question is not whether the FBI tracked a wallet. The real question is who they found when they got there. Think about that for a moment. Whoever is connected to this wallet made a deliberate choice. This was not a cash transaction handed off in a parking lot. This was not a phone call that could never be verified. This was a digital financial decision. Intentional. Recorded. Permanent. So who makes that kind of decision in a kidnapping case? Someone who believed they were invisible. Someone who thought cryptocurrency meant untraceable. Someone who had enough technical confidence to believe that no federal agency could follow the money back to a real name, a real address, a real face. That tells us something about who we are looking for. And there is a second question buried inside the first one. Why is this surfacing now? 73 days into this case, the FBI does not accidentally let information like this reach the public. Saying information at this level of an active federal investigation does not leak by mistake. So ask yourself, was this released deliberately? Is this a signal? Is law enforcement letting whoever is connected to that wallet know that the distance between them and an arrest just got a great deal smaller? Or did this surface before investigators were ready? Both possibilities matter. Neither one is comforting for whoever left that trail. Now let us talk about what this development changes. For whoever is connected to this wallet, the landscape of this case just shifted completely. Physical evidence can be destroyed. Witnesses can be pressured into silence. Memories fade and stories change. But a financial transaction recorded on a blockchain cannot be touched after the fact. It cannot be walked back. It cannot be explained away. If that transaction is connected to Nancy's disappearance in any prosecutable way, it exists as evidence independently of everything else in this case. That is not a small thing. That is potentially the strongest thing investigators have. For anyone on the edges of this case who knows something and has been staying quiet, the calculation just changed. When a financial trail exists and federal agents are following it, the risk of silence starts to outweigh the risk of coming forward. People who have been holding information sometimes move when they realize investigators are already closer than they thought. This development may shake something loose that 73 days of searching could not. For the exchange, if a registered account was subpoenaed, a real name may already be in a federal file. There's a gap between identified and arrested. That gap can be days. It can be weeks. It depends on what prosecutors need to build a case that holds. But that gap is not the same as nothing. It is the final distance. And for Annie. For Nancy's daughter who wakes up every single morning inside the same unanswered question. For the family that has spent 73 days watching investigators work and waiting for a call that changes everything. This development means something different to them than it means to anyone watching from a distance. It means the case is still alive. It means someone is still pulling threads. It means her mother has not been forgotten by the people with the power to find answers. That matters more than any technical detail about cryptocurrency forensics. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Bitcoin tracing is not new. The FBI has been doing cryptocurrency forensics for years. Agencies have cracked wallets in drug cases, fraud cases, ransomware cases. This does not automatically mean they found the person who took Nancy. And you are right, that objection is technically accurate, but it misses what is specific about this case. It is not that the FBI traced a wallet. It is that a wallet existed to trace at all. For 73 days, this case had no financial evidence, no ransom demand made public, no transaction connected to the investigation in any way that reached the public record. And now there is one. The existence of that wallet inside this investigation is the story. Not the technique, not the agency. The fact that someone connected to this case moved money digitally and left a record of doing it. And in 73 days of silence, that is not routine. That is a crack in the wall. So here is where this stands tonight. The FBI is tracking a Bitcoin wallet connected to Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. That is confirmed. Whether it leads directly to a named suspect, whether charges follow, whether this becomes the thread that finally pulls this case open, none of that is confirmed yet. What is confirmed is that this investigation is moving in a direction it has never moved before, and the person at the end of that financial trail knows it. Nancy Guthrie is still missing. The suspect is still unnamed. But tonight, for the first time in 73 days, someone out there is not as invisible as they believed. If you have any information about Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Do you think the FBI already knows exactly who this wallet belongs to and is quietly building the case before the arrest? Or do you think this trace is still in progress with no confirmed name yet? Drop your read below, because on day 73, every detail matters, and this one may matter more than anyone is ready to admit. If this video gave you something to think about, hit the like button. Subscribe so you never miss an update on this case, and share this with someone who has been following Nancy's story. The more people who know, the harder it is for this case to go quiet.